This is the last week of a lifting cycle for me, which means I'm working on max lifting. I start with a set of 5, then a set of 4, a set of 3, 2, 1, and of course on that 1, trying to move as much as I can.
Activation. It's a mix of dynamic stretching, yoga moves, and breathing that really helps me get off to a good start. That was it for swimming today. Let's get to the weight room.
Okay, welcome back. This is part 2. We're heading to the gym, see what kind of numbers I can put up today.
That was a good day. Good one.
All right, so we're back. That was amazing. That was the best lift I have ever done. Best lifting session. All personal bests across all 4 of the major lifts that I did. Bench press was 315, and it wasn't even that hard. If you notice, when I bench, I stop about maybe 2 inches from my chest. And that's because it puts too much strain on my shoulders to go all the way to my chest. And there's really no benefit, especially being a breaststroker, because my arms don't go back that far in my stroke. So, there's no need in bench press to potentially injure myself. And I was, an orthopedic surgeon said I had loose joints in my knees and shoulders. So that was just amazing. 315, it felt like not too long ago that I was struggling at 225 and feeling like I was going to tear stuff in my shoulders at that weight. And here I am at 315 going, I can do more. So that's really cool, especially as I said, I'm coming up on 40 and I'm still getting stronger. The bent over rows, that was a new personal best by a little bit, 210 versus 205. The deadlift was 375. That was really great. I was real happy with that. My previous best, I think, was 365. And when I did 365, I pulled something in my rib cage. So to make it out of there without pulling anything this time was really good. And then pull-ups, 90 pounds. I was really happy with that. So after that, I did some band work for my shoulders, just because that's a good daily exercise. And now I got to get home and refuel because I feel like I'm starving. I don't think I had enough protein in my breakfast to get me through my workout. And so when I go home right now, I'm going to get milk, throw some whey protein in there. That alone will be about 40 grams of protein, which is great. I'll let that digest for a little bit as I get my actual food ready, and then I get back to work, back to the real world, designing products for Fike Swim and answering customers' emails and all that good stuff. So I'll be back this evening with my evening routine because I do a lot of stretching, cupping, foam rolling every evening, and so I'll show you that. And I guess one last note, it's really amazing as I go through this process to understand what pro swimmers go through and the daily grind. Like, that activation routine that I did on deck before I got in the water, it's so easy to skip that kind of stuff. Like, most days I don't really like doing that. I'd much rather just like hop in and get going. But as I said, it makes my first stroke feel really, so much better, and I feel like I'm ready to go much sooner in the workout, which is, what I'm looking for. And so just the daily grind that pro swimmers go through, it's rough, and the monotony of it, doing the activation routine and then putting in those yards, getting going 600 or 700 and instead of just a couple hundred, and then doing the workout, and then doing the cupping, the foam rolling, the massaging, making sure that you're eating properly before and after. And it's just, I have a much greater appreciation for all pro swimmers, especially my Fike Swim Ambassadors. You should check them out, by the way. Austin, Allie, Maddie, great people, great swimmers. But I'll see you tonight, and then work on my next episode. See ya. All right, so this is about the end of the day. It's like 8:40 right now, and but my training isn't over. I've got about 45 minutes of stretching, foam rolling, and once a week or once every couple weeks, some cupping. And this has been, the rest and recovery component of my training has been hugely beneficial in keeping me going day in and day out, so that I can hit everything really hard, whether it's weights or the set in the weight room. And so it's about 8:40 right now, and my kids just finished getting ready for bed. They're watching TV. So typically what I do is I head into the TV room with them and watch whatever they're watching, which I think right now is Turner and Hooch. And I go through my routine. So it's going to get a little bit dark, and we're about to hit fast forward on these 45 minutes, so you don't have to endure all that. But you'll get a flavor for what it is that I do in this routine every night. So here we go. Don't look at everything; it's very messy.
I'll get him in the federal canine training facility. We'll give Trooper the care that he needs, I promise you that.
All right, so we went from Turner and Hooch to episodes of The Office that my son hasn't seen yet. So one of my favorite shows to watch with him. So you saw my routine. Typically takes 40-45 minutes. I always start with legs up the wall. That's one of my favorite things to do. It really just kind of refreshes my legs, gets that blood moving again. I do that before races as well, and found that it's so helpful for my legs. Maybe it's all in my head, but it just feels really good going into a race. The rest of the stuff was stretching out. It was a lot of leg work, especially in my T-bands. There was a point just a few months ago where I thought I had really hurt something in my knee, an old injury from college. And I went to the orthopedic surgeon, and turns out I just kind of have loose joints and also a really tight T-band on that side, my right side. And so I went back to my physical therapist. So again, go visit your physical therapist. Really helpful. You'll learn a lot. And so stretching my T-band is something that I do a lot of, almost throughout the day even. And then the rest of it was kind of groin, working adductors, all the things that usually get tight, injured with breaststrokers. And then a little bit with the upper body there, stretching out, doing some reaching exercises. When I do those, I kind of imagine that I'm finishing into the wall on a long stroke that I didn't want to take, but found myself in that position, and I just kind of imagine myself reaching in to get that extra 100th of a second. And yeah, it helps me go to bed feeling great, and then wake up in the morning feeling ready to go for another day of hard training. It's one of those things. It would be so much easier to just plop down on the couch and watch TV. Most nights I really don't even want to do that, but it makes me feel so much better going to bed and then going into the next day when I've got a hard, tough day of training ahead. So I make myself do it, and I just keep my focus on what my goals are. And as I've said before, I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm not getting any younger, and at some point my time is going to catch up with me. And whether that's a month from now, a year from now, a couple of years from now, or if I've already reached my peak and I've gone as far as I can, I don't know. But until I absolutely hit that point and it's obvious, I've got to do everything that I can to compete with these kids who are less than half my age. That's it for me today. I'll be hitting bed soon. Before I do, I usually finish it off with a bowl of Icelandic yogurt. You might be wondering what Icelandic yogurt is. It's a really great alternative to all the other yogurts because it has the least amount of sugar and the most amount of protein, even more so than Greek yogurt. And I throw in there some granola, some honey, some berries. I know I'm really living on the wild side these days. No more cookie cakes and all that stuff. But it's good stuff. So that just kind of helps get me through the night and then into the morning where I'm not feeling like I've got to eat a ton. And so I'll be back with another episode as I get into more hard training out of the end of the lifting cycle here. And I hope you'll tune in. Thanks.